Until then, it doesn't hurt to be out here for fresh air and sunshine. I walk to the gardens, what little of it there is at the moment anyway, and kneel by the daffodils. These were the first to be brought here and planted on my request, and if nothing else, they brought in a sense of peace. They were mother's favorites. Closing my eyes, I lift my chin up to welcome the light that shines upon me. And for a minute, I can imagine myself as one of the flowers. It's like the guy is a little bit crazy. Peaceful, blooming, and all too happy to stand in its warmth. Life would be much easier if you were all like flowers, wouldn't it? I guess. But I did not step out here to get all physical. I have problems much more practical than figuring out the meaning of life after all. Too many things have gone on these past few days, and I want to forget about them, even for just a moment.
It's almost All Saints, isn't it? To think I've almost forgotten.
I speak the words absent-mindedly. The date means nothing to me as I neither worship the religion nor have any graves to visit. After all, Mother was never given a proper burial. But it's a date, as any for me to grieve. Otherwise, I would have done so every single day, crippling myself and shutting everyone else out. I can remember all the flames licked at their flesh and how it consumes our body until there was nothing left but ash. Oh, what the? His mother was burned alive? Whoa. I stood there watching with the operator and a social service worker, though I could have been alone for all I cared. I felt alone. It was the most that could be done. No one would attend the funeral of a dead prostitute, and they don't pay for it. And she was a prostitute? What the? All that is left of her proof that she had lived is her name written in the ledger of the Luxembourg Cemetery. A lighter and me. Eleanor. Putting out the lighter from my jacket, I can't stop myself from flicking it open to stare at the flame and to run my thumb over her name. All in all, it's not much, but it's something. And it would be wrong of me not to make something of myself when she would have given everything to make sure I can become anything I want to be.
Feels like I'm stuck in a nightmare right now. What I would give to have you here by my side, Mother dear. To see you smiling at me. Alive and as beautiful as ever.
Aw, man. That's sad.
I'm afraid I'm starting to forget what your face looks like. I've already forgotten the shade of your hair.
Eleanor Chandler was a wonderful woman, though not everyone will have agreed. Not everyone has seen past her occupation, past her vice and her illness. Aldissa was a poor woman who sold her body to make ends meet, and had a bastard son because of it. Oh man, so they were poor at first. They did not see the mother who worked hard to put food on the table for me. The woman who gave and 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 gave to me while expecting nothing in return. She taught me the merits of hard work, but though I loved her so, I worked hard for myself. I would not be so foolish, so selfless towards people who will never give back. Also, that's probably why he's working that hard, because he saw his mother working very hard to put food on the table. I learned that from the father who plucked me out of an orphanage for his own selfish gain. I pocket the lighter before I can feel the urge to actually set anything ablaze. Considering my close proximity to the flowers, it would be the most likely victim of arson. Just the thought itself is blasphemous. Nevertheless, that doesn't save them from being picked, just enough to make a bouquet of the things in honor of Eleanor.
Would you be proud of me if you saw me now, Mother? Maybe. You're always so forgiving. No matter what trouble I got into, more than I deserved. Especially now.
Aw, man. It's been a while since I've talked to my mother like this. They say that even when our loved ones have passed on, they stay to watch over us. Though I believe in neither a heaven nor hell, a hopeful part of me wishes it were true. As ridiculous as the idea is, I can't help but grow still a chill going up my spine when I do feel eyes upon me. For a while, I think I'm imagining it, but I'm all too familiar with the sensation of being watched. Carefully, I scan my surroundings, doing my best to not give away the fact that I'm aware of their presence wherever they are. There's not a soul in sight of the field surrounding the mansion. Yet, they're on the balcony overlooking the garden. Achievement unlocked, trick of the eye. That's probably either the ghost or Anna. She stands there, and though I cannot see her face clearly from afar, I know she's the one staring at me. A servant. If one were to judge by her clothing, from this distance, I can discern what those stains on her clothing are. The woman gives off a rabbit air and simply did not belong with her surroundings. This is not what worries me though. What worries me is that she is not one of ours. She can't be. Obvious signs of being tattered and dirty stayed aside. There shouldn't be anyone else in the mansion aside from the three of us. And that's the balcony that leads to our bedroom. Forget pretending that I don't notice her.
You! What are you doing there? You're not supposed to be there!
Get the hell out of my house! It's a stupid thing to do, I realized in inside, but calling attention to it was the spur of the moment plan. From the 8, there's no way she would have jumped off the balcony, and perhaps she would have only been able to sneak in there because Anna is asleep. Calling out to her would wake Anna and, at the very least, call Johan's attention to the matter at hand. I dread to think of any other way she could have gotten there without Hannah calling for us. The woman on the balcony does not react, barely even stirs. Probably drugged, adult, or touched in the head, though that begs the question of how she even managed to get in there. That changes nothing, of course, and doesn't stop me from running back to the mansion.
Shuriken! There's an intruder! In the bedroom!
There's an intruder! Oh, that's probably why he said at the end of Ashton's chapter, when they all met up, he said, it's the third time people break into my house. Probably because he thought that was a break to his house again this time. Because in reality, there was only 2 break in his house, if I think. Is that right? Yes, there was only 2 break, because there's a break with Ashton and Isabella and Zach. The third one is probably that girl.
Upstairs! Secure Hana immediately!
Bursting you through the front doors, I'm greeted by Johan with a kitchen knife in his hands, looking weary and alert. There's a question on his lips for a moment, but he's quick to fall into place, giving me a curt nod before we rush up to the foyer stairs. That woman will need to go through us to get anywhere, and between me and the butler, there's no way she's getting away. There's no announcing ourselves as I slam the bedroom door open, expecting to see the worst inside. When we find Hannah, simply seated at her vanity without a care in the world, my relief can't be any greater. I don't even question if she's well enough to be moving around yet, but that is soon followed by suspicion and caution. Without a word, I signal for Johan to search through the room for an intruder, even going so far as to slipping into the second bedroom. She could not have gone anywhere else, not without getting our attention, not without Anna noticing. And it's not too far-fetched to think that she may have been coerced to act like nothing is out of the ordinary. If she's being forced to do this, she would be able to tell me without alerting the criminal. We should be ready for such things after all, being the wealthy, powerful and influential people that we are. And though I hesitate to break her peace, to make her worry any more than she has the right to be, I know that matters of safety should not be taken so lightly. Even if I could just content myself in just watching her.
Are you alright, Hana?
There's a moment of silence as she fastens a cord around her neck, and with her back still turned to me, she replies as calmly as can be.
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? Is there something wrong?
Of course I am. She's all fucked up because of the necklace. There is no sign of coercion or deceit. She gives none. I'm sure how to pronounce that anyway. Everything looks fine. She seems fine, and that says that much. Stepping out onto the balcony doesn't say anything differently. The outside is devoid of signs of any other human life without secluded the property is. Though it is hard to be sure without the sun has set, trying to locate anyone on the large property by myself would be futile. Whether it is a truth or a convenient lie, one could assume that everything is alright. And even Yuan is in agreement.
There's nobody in the second bedroom or in the closet. It's all.
Yet I can't fight off the awful feeling that has taken over me.
Are you sure? Nobody? Double check. Triple check everything. Check the whole house if you have to.
Check the whole house!
What's going on? What is all this then?
He claims to have seen an intruder standing on your balcony. Did you notice anyone here, madam?
No, it's just been me. I've not heard or seen anybody else aside from the two of you all day. Strange.
The others have been given the day off. There shouldn't be anybody else here. Are you sure of what you saw? Perhaps you were...
Oh, I'm pretty sure we saw something.
Yes, I bloody well am sure of what I saw. There was a woman standing there, dark hair and in servant's clothing. Are you insinuating that I am making things up? That I'm going mad?
That I'm going mad?
Because if you are, I don't care how competent you've been. I won't have such disrespect directed at me.
Ah, shit. You're gonna get your ass fired.
It's not paranoia if people are out to get me.
My anger is easily aroused, no thanks to the adrenaline rush that kicks in sometime I don't know when. Don't think I'll ever get used to this feeling, really. No matter how many a time I've had to rely on it to survive on the streets as a child. To survive everything with how I have managed to prop myself up. And I take any and all threats toward my person seriously.
I'm not implying that you're mad. The occasional hallucination is a completely normal and human experience, as long as it isn't a repeat occurrence.
Oh, so what? That was a trick of the light? My imagination?
My imagination? I like his voice.
You haven't ingested any alcohol today, have you?
A valid question, but
I am not drunk.
in my state, I only realize how quiet Anna has gotten when she doesn't joke about my debatable alcoholism. There is no clever quip or words of fun exasperation. She's only been watching me through all of this. And when I do notice that, I start feeling bugs crawling on my skin. When I did not deign to speak further, fixated on the sensation, Johan cuts me.
Whatever the case, we need to establish tighter security. We should have done so from the start. If you were seeing things, then we got lucky. Had there been a real intruder, we were ill prepared.
Yeah, he's right.
Of course, I trust that you can hire the most qualified from the agency.
Are you all right, Hana? You seem disquieted.
I'm well, my love. I was just worried about how the hallucination brought you distress.
It was not a hallucination, I'm sure of it. But what can I do to prove otherwise?
Doesn't matter. You are safe, as am I. I overreacted.
Perhaps rest is necessary. It is late into the day, and you must be